so beautiful. Oh, so beautiful.
Revolutionary greetings and hope chat. I'd like to thank everybody for showing up today. We meet here every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to share a few facts, little known facts, on how to get free from this debt-based monetary system that is designed to keep us struggling, working from paycheck to paycheck, and working until we can't work anymore. This presentation is about peace, about freedom, economic freedom, and it's about self-development and self-improvement. What we're going to do is we're going to show you a plan, okay, a plan that has thousands of years of history to prove that it works. And what is this plan? This plan is to show you how you can prepare, okay, for what's really happening, and that is the currency that we now have here in the United States is losing its value. So how you can protect your savings from confiscation, from inflation, okay, and how you can actually build wealth, generational wealth if you're interested in that. So if you are interested, I highly suggest that you might want to, take notes. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them at the end of the presentation. And this is a Mint Builders presentation. And with your membership with Mint Builders, we're going to show you how you can accumulate assets that many people think require a lot of money to get started, but it really doesn't. You can just start saving precious metals. That's what we're talking about when we talk about assets, like physical gold and silver at wholesale prices with a Mint Builder membership. Okay. This is a Ra Turn to Your Royalty Warriors Mint Builders presentation. I am the co-founder of Ra Turn to Your Royalty Warriors. Ra is another name for the sun that sustains the life of us here on this planet that we call Earth. When we say return to your royalty, basically what we're saying is that if you haven't already, to Sankofa back to knowledge of self, love of self, so that you can become the good servant leader that the world needs so many more of. Okay? And with your membership with Mint Builders, if you're interested in helping other people learn this information, Mint Builders will pay you, okay? So Warriors is an acronym for winning at receiving residual income over receiving salaries. Like I said, this presentation is about freedom and peace and liberation. We know that a job, a salary is not going to give you that. So what we're going to do is show you a few slides, play a few videos, and try to break this down so you can see why this information is vitally important now and in the future. The Warrior's first instruction is to return order and balance. And what we want to do is focus on that main place. That's your home, the economic order and balance of your home. Okay, so you have a less stressful life here on this earth while you're here, and have that freedom that we all deserve. Do the things that's more important than having to work until we can't work anymore. Mint Builders and its representatives are precious metal specialists. We're not licensed financial advisors. We do not give any financial advice. Precious metals prices may fall and rise, which means that the value of metals may go up and down over time. You may suffer more or less than you pay, and precious metals do not yield income. So past performance does not guarantee future results. Mint Builders cannot guarantee, assure, or promise future market movements, prices, or profits. But like I said, we got thousands of years of history to prove that this simple plan works. I want to get into it, show you what we're talking about, because our economy is in irreversible trouble. Are you prepared? We have continuous war after war after war after war. If you get it, you're going to realize that Saving in precious metals can help us eliminate these continuous wars. All right. We have a eviction crisis going on, homeless crisis going on, inflation is just killing us, you know. Everything is going up in our paychecks. But it's not something new. It's been going on for decades now. All right. So our currency is on the way to zero. So what can you do to protect yourself? And historically, every currency, every fiat currency has gone to zero. So one thing that we can do, and hopefully in this presentation, this will show you, and that's to understand that currency and money are two different things. That's right. See, currency is a medium of exchange, is a unit of account, is portable, durable, and fungible. Those are the components of currency. That's what we go to work for, okay? Currency, all right? Don't go to work for money, all right? And it has the same attributes as currency. It's a medium of exchange, unit of account, it's portable, durable, and fungible, and interchangeable. But it has one thing that they don't tell us about when it comes to money. It has a store of value. We're going to show a video that breaks that down. And just about everybody knows this, but they still think that the dollar is king. And unfortunately, there's a fiat currency. I'll show you what that means if you haven't heard that term before. Many people haven't. Because your financial wellness is our mission. We're going to show you in this presentation how you can grow wealth to reduce anxiety so you can enjoy your life, live your dream freedom lifestyle. There's many reasons why this is important. This is just a few of them. See, global uncertainty all but dictate the necessity of a stable store of value. Inflation is winning. It's real. It's robbing us of our labor, causing unrest in major cities globally. Globally, housing and grocery prices are not sustainable, and companies are laying off people in droves. Don't believe what they tell you on TV when they say that the unemployment rate is so low. Well, a lot of people not even looking for work anymore because they're really not paying the money to go there and do what they want you to do. And artificial intelligence will replace a lot more workers. You see, a long time ago, this president named Ronald Reagan started breaking up the unions. That was in the 80s. And like I said, this has been going on for decades. So most jobs now, there's no benefits, no retirement. If you don't show up, you don't get paid. So the days of finding a job with benefits that one can retire from, they're dwindling away. We got Uber drivers, we got people, delivery people, so forth and so on. The central banks are printing cash at unprecedented rates, and we have paper currency that's going digital. BRICS. If you don't know about BRICS, I highly suggest that you do some research and find out about BRICS. It stands for Brazil, Russia, India, China, and South Africa. Countries that got together for economic reasons. It's getting bigger than that. Then we got Fed now, something that this government in the United States is working on. People use their cell phones to transact business now. Don't even have cash or the card, cell phone. Then people use the plastic card, but you rarely see people pull out cash these days. And you have the central bank digital currency, which most central banks on the globe are working on, which is digital currency, programmable money, programmable currency that the government can shut off. Then they'll know everything that you spend, where you spend, how much you spend, and how much you have. Then we have the lasting effects of the pandemic. That's right. And it has interrupted the supply chain still. That has caused inflation to speed up. And the weakening of the currency, it will never stop. These are not opinions, these are facts on our planet everywhere. This is a quick video. What if the US dollar collapsed and became worthless overnight? I'm not playing the whole video, about 10 minutes of it, so please bear with us because I think this is a very interesting video. Might want to subscribe to Neil's channel. Like he's a certified public accountant, right? CPA. Here we go.
Easy to think that this could never happen here, not in the United States, but what if it did? What if tomorrow you woke up and found out that your dollars had become worthless? Let's dive deeper and see how this shocking scenario might unfold in our daily lives, because as history shows us, sometimes the unthinkable can become a reality. So imagine that morning when you wake up and it hits you, the dollar has just collapsed. What would happen next? Picture yourself walking into your local grocery store. Just yesterday, you could grab a gallon of milk for a few bucks, swipe your credit card, and be on your way. But today, the shelves are emptying fast. The prices are climbing by the minute, and the cashiers aren't even sure if they'll accept dollars anymore. People are scrambling, trying to trade whatever they have, canned goods, batteries, and even bottled water, just to buy their basic essentials. The familiar beeps of the register are replaced by the frantic sounds of haggling, arguing, and nervous chatter. Gas stations? Forget about it. Lines stretch for blocks, with fuel becoming a precious commodity. Without a stable currency, how do you even price something like gasoline? Suddenly, the credit cards in your wallet and the cash in your pocket are useless. The money you thought you had, it's gone. Poof, just like that. As the hours turn into days, everything we've taken for granted about modern life begins to unravel. Landlords aren't sure how to even collect rent. Employers can't pay their workers. Bills, they might as well be written on scraps of paper. And in the chaos, something incredible happens. People start to revert to an age-old method of bartering. Neighbors trade canned goods for firewood. Carpenters exchange their skills for a carton of eggs. It's a system that feels ancient, but in a world where the dollar no longer holds value, it suddenly becomes the most reliable way to survive. But this isn't just about people trying to make it through the day. Imagine being a small business owner. You spent years building your dream, pouring your heart, soul, and savings into it. Now you can't pay your employees, you can't buy supplies, and your bank won't give you a loan because, well, what does it even matter? The dollar's worthless. All that hard work, all that dedication, gone, wiped out by an economic tsunami. And what about the banks themselves? You know, those fine institutions we trust to keep our money safe? Well, they shut their doors, lock their vaults, and put up signs that read, temporarily closed. But in reality, they're not just closed, they're paralyzed. They don't know what to do either. Your life savings, the money you've worked your entire life to build, are now trapped behind those doors, inaccessible and essentially worthless. ATMs run dry, the stock market's in a free fall, and the value of retirement accounts plummets to near zero overnight. It's as if the entire financial system hit a brick wall at warp speed. What's left is a society grappling with the realization that the foundation they built their lives on has crumbled beneath their feet. And while the rest of us are scrambling to make sense of it all, there's one big question looming in the background. How the hell is our government going to fix this? Now, in times of crisis, all eyes turn to the government. And in this moment of unprecedented chaos, you can bet they'll be scrambling to take control. Picture this: a hastily called press conference. The president steps up to the podium, flanked by economic advisors, faces drawn and serious. Behind them, the American flag waves, but instead of a feeling of security, there's an air of uncertainty and even fear. The first words that come out of the president's mouth are something like, "We're doing everything we can to stabilize the situation." But what does that even mean when the very currency that keeps society moving is worthless? In the early hours, there might be talk of emergency measures. Perhaps they'll announce a freeze on all bank accounts to prevent mass withdrawals. Maybe they'll introduce price controls to keep grocery stores from charging a month's wages for a loaf of bread. But as history has shown us, desperate measures often have unintended consequences. Let's go back to the 1930s for a moment. During the Great Depression, when things got rough, President Franklin Delano Roosevelt signed the Gold Reserve Act of 1934, which made it illegal for private citizens to own gold. Why did they do this? Because the government needed every ounce of gold they could get to stabilize the dollar. But can you imagine something like that happening today? The government coming to seize the gold that you've been holding on to as a safeguard against exactly this kind of crisis. Or consider the more recent 2008 financial crisis. Back then, we saw massive bailouts, trillions of dollars injected into the economy to keep the banks from collapsing. But in a world where the dollar is worthless, it's pointless to print more money. It won't be about propping up failing banks, it'll be about rebuilding the entire system from the ground up. There might be whispers of a new currency. Let's explore that. Imagine the government announcing the introduction of an emergency currency, something to restore faith in the financial system. Maybe they'd even peg it to a tangible asset like gold and silver, or even a basket of commodities, hoping to create stability. But could people really trust it? Would you? After all, the dollar was once considered as good as gold, and look where we ended up. As the government scrambles to regain control, martial law becomes a reality. We have curfews, checkpoints, and restrictions on movement as authorities try to maintain order in a society that's teetering on the edge of collapse. And in this moment, it's not just about fixing the economy, it's about keeping the peace, preventing civil unrest, and stopping the country from tearing itself apart. But even if the government manages to roll out some sort of emergency currency or drastic measure to restore order, one thing is for certain, trust is shattered. The unspoken agreement that money is worth something, that it's a fair exchange for goods and services, has been broken. Now, as America grapples with this new reality, the rest of the world is watching closely. Because when the US dollar falls, it doesn't just end at our borders. The shockwaves ripple out, and suddenly the whole world is asking, where do we go from here? While the United States scrambles to regain its footing, the rest of the world is watching with bated breath. You see, the US dollar isn't just any currency, it's the backbone of the global financial system. Countries around the world hold large reserves of dollars, using them to stabilize their own economies. So when the dollar crumbles, it's not just America that feels the impact, it sends shockwaves around the globe. Imagine being a business executive in Japan who suddenly finds that his company's contracts with American companies, contracts worth millions, are now effectively worthless. Or picture a small country in Africa that relies on US dollars for importing medicine, fuel, and food. Without access to a stable currency, entire economies could come to a grinding halt. Panic spreads, and in the blink of an eye, a crisis that started in one country has now gone global. International markets, which once hummed along with the confidence that the dollar would always be there, descends into chaos. Central banks around the world scramble to protect their own currencies, dumping the dollar reserves as fast as they can, hoping to limit the damage. But as more countries offload their dollars, the value plummets even further. What once seemed unthinkable, a complete collapse of the world's most trusted currency, has become a terrifying reality. In this void, there's a frantic search for a new king of currencies. Could the euro step in and take the crown? What about the Chinese yuan or the Japanese yen? Or maybe, just maybe, gold makes a triumphant return, reclaiming its place as the ultimate storehouse of value. Cryptocurrency enthusiasts might see this as their moment, the tipping point that pushes Bitcoin or another digital currency into the mainstream. But in reality, no one's sure which direction to turn. The world is grasping for stability, but with the fall of the dollar, there's really no clear answer. And while nations scramble to find a solution, everyday people are left to fend for themselves. Those with foresight who invested in assets like gold, silver, commodities, or cryptocurrencies might be able to weather the storm better than others, but for most, the reality is stark. Their life savings have vanished and the road ahead is uncertain. In times like these, we're forced to confront a harsh truth. The financial systems we rely on are only as strong as the trust we place in them. And when that knowing that the world makes sense. But how did we get here? Could this even have been prevented? And more importantly, could something like this happen in our lifetime? As the world grapples with the collapse of the US dollar, one question dominates every conversation. What can we trust now? When the money in your wallet is no longer worth the paper it's printed on, people start looking for something, anything that can hold its value. Gold, the ancient metal that's been a symbol of wealth for thousands of years, suddenly becomes more than just a shiny relic. It transforms itself into a lifeline. Those who had the foresight to invest in gold find themselves holding one of the only things that everyone agrees still has value. We've seen this before, time and time again throughout history. In times of uncertainty, when governments and currencies failed, gold remains a constant. It doesn't rust, it doesn't degrade, and most importantly, it's universally recognized as valuable. But in this digital age, gold isn't the only contender. Cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin begin to shine. For years, skeptics dismissed it as a passing fad, but now, in this moment of crisis, it offers something no government-backed currency can: decentralization and scarcity. There's only ever going to be 21 million Bitcoins, and that fixed supply suddenly makes it a very attractive alternative. People start trading their worthless dollars for digital wallets, hoping that this decentralized currency can provide the stability that traditional money can no longer offer. Then there are other tangible assets: silver, real estate, even art and collectibles. Anything that isn't tied to the collapsing dollar becomes a potential store of value. Bartering networks spring up in communities where people exchange goods and services directly. It's a throwback to an earlier time, but in this new reality, it's a new way of life. But here's the challenge. None of these alternatives are perfect. Gold is heavy, difficult to transport, and hard to divide for smaller transactions. Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, while offering a modern solution, still rely on technology, electricity, and internet access, things that could be in short supply during a crisis. And not everyone has a stash of silver coins or valuable artwork laying around. As people scramble to protect what little wealth they have left, we're reminded of one simple truth. There's no such thing as a truly safe investment. Everything has risks, but those who diversify, who spread their assets across different forms of value, are the ones who stand the best chance of surviving this economic storm. And yet the big question still remains. Could this really happen to us? Is this just a far-fetched scenario, or are we already seeing the warning signs today? It's easy to brush this off as just another what-if scenario, something that belongs in the realm of fiction or history books. But the truth is, the seeds of this crisis might already be planted. Take a look around. Inflation is up, the national debt is soaring past $35 trillion, and confidence in government institutions is at an all-time low. We're printing money at an unprecedented rate, and every time we do, the dollar's value gets chipped away little by little. It's like watching a slow-motion train wreck, and most people don't even realize it's happening. Think back to 2008 when the financial system teetered on the brink of collapse. For a moment, it felt like the whole world was holding its breath, waiting to see if everything would come crashing down. The government stepped in, pumped trillions of dollars into the system, and for a while, it worked. But that fix came at a price we're still paying for today. Or consider what's happening right now with countries like China and Russia. They've been quietly buying up gold, stockpiling reserves, and making deals to trade in their own currencies rather than relying on the US dollar, because maybe they see the writing on the wall. They know that if the dollar falls, they need a backup plan. But what about us? Are we prepared for the possibility that the dollar could lose its value? The truth is, most of us aren't. We've been raised to believe that the dollar is untouchable, that it'll always be there and always be worth something. But history has shown us that no currency, no matter how mighty, is immune to collapse. Does this mean you should start hoarding gold and converting all your savings into Bitcoin? Not necessarily, but it does mean that it's time to start asking questions, be more aware of where our economy is headed, and to take steps to protect ourselves. Diversify your assets, don't put all your eggs in one basket. Consider investments that aren't tied to the dollar, whether that's real estate, precious metals, or even starting a side hustle that gives you a different source of income. Now, these aren't foolproof solutions, but they're steps in the right direction. Because at the end of the day, we don't know what the future holds. Maybe the dollar will remain strong, and this will all just be an interesting thought experiment. Or maybe, just maybe, we'll wake up one morning to find out that the world has changed overnight. Remember, history doesn't always repeat itself, but it often rhymes. The signs we see today echo those of the past, and while we can't predict the future, we can learn from what's come before. So I'll leave you with this. What would you do if the dollar became worthless tomorrow? Are you ready for that possibility? Or will you be caught off guard, scrambling to figure out what to do next? The choice is yours, but as history has shown us, those who are prepared are the ones who survive. Now, I want to leave you with one final thought. This isn't about predicting doom and gloom. The chances of the US dollar becoming completely worthless overnight are incredibly slim. But by exploring this scenario, I'd like to think we've gained a better understanding of how our financial system works, the risks we might face, and why it's so important to be prepared for anything. So take this journey not as a forecast of the future, but as a thought experiment to help us all stay informed and ready for whatever life might throw our way. If you found the video
Well, I hope that y'all paid attention to what he was saying, because it looks like we're real close to that may be happening. Like you said, China and Russia are buying gold at record pace. China's even having their citizens, encouraging their citizens to acquire gold, right? So, and we have BRICS. Like I said earlier, you don't know about BRICS, please do some research and learn more about it. So I can actually end this presentation now, let you know to get back with the person to share this with you so you can learn how you can acquire a precious metal at wholesale price. But I'm going to continue on because we have some more information that we want to get to you. So why precious metals? Because they hold tangible value over long periods of time. Historical fact. Time-tested hedge against inflation is easily expandable. Even children know that it's good to have gold and silver. It's a stable store of value during uncertain times. Every fiat currency, let me repeat that. Every fiat currency has gone to zero in value. Remember that. And it's the best product to be garage qualified with. Like the man said, it doesn't rust, it doesn't spoil, it doesn't go bad, doesn't expire. And all it does is it grows in value the longer you hold it. It's a store of value. That's why it's money, precious metal, gold and silver. You see, most people dream of becoming wealthy and achieving financial success and living life on their terms. But unfortunately, the reality is that many will never realize their dreams because they don't take the right action because they don't really know. A lot of things that the wealthy know, the middle class and poor really don't know. The working class don't know that cash and money are two different things. Then you have the dream chasers, people that you know that discourage you because they don't have any dreams or many other reasons. But yeah, there's a lot of reasons why many people don't realize that dream. And one of the main stuff is the lack of education. Wealth is not about getting lucky because most people who luck up and become wealthy end up losing it because they still don't have the right knowledge, right? And you have to have a plan. And once you get this plan that we're going to share with you in a few seconds, you must be consistent about it, all right? So here's that plan. It's real simple, and that's to pay yourself first. Just make sure it's not made out of paper. So what do I mean by that? I mean that when you get paid, you have any source of income, you want to try to save at least 10% of that in precious metals, an asset, something that's going to store your labor, that's going to store its value, and over time, increase in value. The US dollar, and no currency in the history of mankind has ever done that. But we know that gold and silver continuously gone up in value thousands of years. The savings is the first step. Most people think that they need to have more money or more cash to start saving. All right. And with that mindset is the reason why many people never start saving in the first place. That's why we have people who've been working 10, 15 years. Over 60% of people here in this country don't have $1,000 saved for an emergency. You want to get that emergency fund going. You want to expedite that savings with assets. Simple as that. How much value has the dollar increased since you were born? Zero. Okay. See, precious metals are assets. All paper fiat currency that most mistakenly called money has one destination, and that's zero. See, when they created the US dollar in 1913, the Federal Reserve Act, which is not the federal government, all right? Private banking cartel that controls the monetary system of the planet. And in 1914, World War I began, okay? Now, in that video we talked about when they confiscated all the gold from the citizens, gave them paper in exchange of it. Well, at that time, the currency was still backed by gold. That's why they took, because they wanted to strengthen the dollar, right? Well, in 1944, after World War II, the United States dollar became the world reserve currency. They had to have so much gold in their reserve in order to print the cash needed to fund the going-ons here in this country. Well, in 1971, Richard Nixon, President of the United States, August 15th, decided that he was going to end the Bretton Woods Agreement. No longer was the dollar backed by physical gold, which means that the US dollar became a fiat currency. What did we say? Every fiat currency in history started zero. US dollar has lost 97% of its buying power since it was created. If you lost 97% of your power, you'd be on life support or pretty much you're pretty close to death. January 1971 to June 2018, U.S. money supply increased 32.3 times. That was accompanied by an 84.1% drop in the purchasing power of the dollar. See, price inflation is a direct consequence of increased prices. The red line going across that dollar that you see here is the currency in circulation, 1971, 2018. You see how rapidly the dollar has decreased in value, and it's even been decreasing a whole lot faster since the COVID thing took place. And here at Mint Builder, we have precious metals that come in two distinct forms. We have bullions, then we have numismatics. I'll explain to you the two different. Bullion is crisis protection. All right, this is what you stack in case of a crisis, personal crisis or global crisis. Personal crisis, appliance breakdown, car breakdown, or you got a bill that just popped up somewhere. Well, you can liquidate your bullion quick, fast, in a hurry. Turn it back into paper and do what you need to do. It has lower premiums than numismatics, and it has outperformed cash savings historically, hands down. Numismatics is priced a little bit above bullion price because so many are created. They're not in circulation, not dependent upon the market like bullion is, which is still, silver is the most undervalued asset on the planet right now. And gold is very undervalued right now too. Even though it's going up, it's still undervalued. And it's solidly preserved numismatics. Here's an example of what a numismatics has done for our members here at Mint Builder. In 2018, members was able to get that numismatics Thor 1 ounce silver, $45. For 2022, it was selling for $175. It's a 95% value increase per year. And so there's a secret to almost instant gains in wealth, right? Here's some of the products that we have at Mint Builders. We have much more than this. We don't have the time to go into this presentation because I don't want to keep people too long. I just want to get this information out as fast as I can and as often as I can. We also have 120 serving package long-term emergency food supply. It's a case. Want to be prepared because we don't know what's coming. Then we have infinite banking, which is a whole life insurance policy where you can become your own bank, borrow from yourself while you're still earning interest on your whole life insurance policy. We have, and I see a lot of people don't know about that. Most people know about term life insurance. Many of us don't know anything about whole life. Well, this means that your insurance won't run out when you turn 85. You need to be there, man. And we have free metal storage. For our members at Mint Builders, then we had this amazing product called My Mint Wallet. I'm going to show a quick little video presentation explain how this amazing product can benefit you.
Physical gold meets digital benefits. Mint Builder has taken physical gold ownership into the future with My Mint Wallet. This is the most cost-effective and secure way to own gold and silver. This proprietary product provides you with gold and silver access previously dominated by large institutions and banks. You now have direct access to instantly buy, sell, or transfer your precious metals through My Mint Wallet. Unlike ETFs, exchange-traded funds, you will enjoy 100% ownership of pure, physical gold and silver that is securely stored in segregated and insured vaults with our partner IDS of Texas. The benefits of My Mint Wallet are extensive and impressive. Your benefits include extremely low premiums, especially for wholesale members, digital tracking to the 100th of an ounce of gold and 1 ounce of silver in real time, 100% direct ownership of pure physical gold and silver, secure vault storage at no additional cost, fully insured accounts, the ability to quickly sell in real time and have your funds transferred directly to your bank, or use your funds to purchase silver and gold from your shop to have physically delivered assets. Daily audits to continually ensure each account is properly funded. Seeing the value of your precious metals holdings in real time all the time. You can even transfer precious metals from your wallet to another member's wallet. 100% of your precious metals purchase is deposited on account as physical gold and silver in the highly secure IDS of Texas vaults. You have complete ownership over your gold and silver holdings, and with the click of a button, can sell at the current market price, have the funds placed into your wallet, and use these funds right away to pick the items you would like to take physical delivery of. This allows you to have the flexibility to choose from many different options for physical product delivery. You also have the option to simply have funds deposited directly into your bank account. We even provide you with the ability to transfer gold and silver to another member. Your MyMint wallet is the best way to own the most amount of gold and silver for the lowest cost, while keeping your metals safe from confiscation and robbery. In turn, giving you absolute control and flexibility with your wealth. Owning precious metals has never been so easy and at such low premiums. Be sure to get started with MyMint wallet and start building your mint today.
That is MyMint wallet. Membership gives you access to precious metal, digital precious metal in physical form stored, highly secured vault, audited daily. You can set up a automatic savings with that, like we do here in this household. But your membership also has a deeper impact. All right, we partnered with a company called Feed My Starving Children. 91% of all proceeds that they collect go directly to feeding children in need globally. Okay, so another video we're going to play, why don't we leave wealth for the next generation? There's a lot of reasons why we don't, but we can start now.
You see, the average black family passes on, listen to this, $0 to the next generation. Yep, I said 0. That means when somebody dies, the family gets nothing. No wonder we cry so much at funerals. We're grieving twice, grieving over losing a loved one and grieving that they didn't leave us anything. You see, other ethnic groups leave wills, but we leave bills. Well, what does Proverbs 13:22 say? A good person leaves an inheritance to his children's children. That means our money should impact at least 3 generations. It should impact ours, our children's, and our grandchildren's. So we have to start building generational wealth.
So you can start building generational wealth with Mint Builders. You can start your auto asset savings account. Asset savings account that you can change. You can pause or cancel your selection at any time, which we do on a monthly basis. We may get more or less each month. It all depends. And this is a way to start building that wealth. You can set it up and just forget it. Or like we do, we go in, we might get a little bit more, a little less each month. We have 2 distinct people here at Mint Builders. What I just showed you is everything that wholesale customers get, and also sales associates. Like I said earlier, at no extra cost, Mint Builders gives you the opportunity to get wholesale precious metals. Plus, if you want to earn extra residual income, so that you can get that freedom, and we also have sales associates. The customers, they don't sell membership. They just purchase. They purchase precious metals because they know the value. And then we have the sales associates who help sell wholesale customer memberships, and they sell precious metals, and they help build a sales organization that does the same, helping people build wealth. And we said we don't just stop with accumulating real assets. We understand that many people are looking for more income today. So with your membership, Mint Builders gives you your own shop where people can go make purchases, and then you get paid when people really exchange paper for real assets. That's all we're doing. We use all the software at no extra cost to keep track of everything that's going on within your account. Marketing tools available, websites, QR codes, banners, and so forth. Training videos to help train you, educate you, so that you'll be more informed on how to help other people learn the difference between currency and money. Get your free silver lead capture page. First, you can go to your capture page, put in their email, their name, watch another video, and What happens, they want to get a gram of silver, all they have to do is pay for the shipping. That's it. And this system will start sending them emails to help explain to them the value of saving precious metals versus saving fiat currency. And also, Mint Builders handles all payment processing. You got to worry about collecting money, paying anybody. Every Monday, commissions are paid out regularly. And they do all the packing, shipping, so you don't have to worry about having a garage full of gold and silver, which isn't a bad thing to do, but you don't have to do that. Not in this industry, not in this century. Not with the technology that we have. You can start a home-based business, don't have to have any inventory other than the inventory that you and your family accumulating. Because once you learn the value in the exchange, it just makes sense to start exchanging some of that paper or digital currency for some real tangible assets. Because as a sales associate, unlimited commissions. So your membership with Mint Builders, VIP membership, if you pay annually, it's $300, which comes out to $25 per month, right? And this is a list of more and some that I already covered of the benefits that you get with your membership. Discounts on travel and attractions, and the free wealth planning app. We have wholesale access to My Mint Wallet. We have an open vault marketplace where members can sell precious metals and members within that building. Other products associated. Then if you want to pay monthly, it's only $39 per month. Imagine starting a traditional business. How much would it cost you to start? Thousands and thousands of dollars. Then you'd have to have inventory and employees and all those things. Well, this is the business for the 21st century, okay? A home-based business using the internet or your smartphone that you can operate anywhere. All you're doing is sharing information, educate people on the value of the exchange of fiat currency, real money, versus 13 streams of income with members. 13 streams of income. We have a video that you can watch to explain the many ways you can earn. But like I said, commission is unlimited. So if you don't have any residual income or passive income, or at least a plan for residual income, you're living a very risky life. We're in very uncertain times right now. There's no security in a job, not even a high-paying one. So be smart and don't rely on just one income. Marcus Garvey said the only protection against injustice in man is power. You want to give you the physical power, so get in the best shape that you can. Financial, educate yourself on how this monetary system works so that you can come out on top. And never stop learning. It's from the book, The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey, Volume 1, page 5. If you're ready to get started, I suggest you get back with the person that shared this with you. And if you're not ready to get started, still get back with them. Thank them for thinking about you to share this information with you. Because we really know that this important information that most people don't know. That's why so many people have to work job and a half, still struggling, have no retirement, and they just don't know because the education system that we have is one thing: go to school, get education, get a degree, so you go find a job, work, or you can't work anymore. That's the plan to give us. That's why we're not able to pass that generation. This is a plan where you can pass on that wealth. Next generation. Until next time, we'll be back here again next week, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Stop the screen share. Open up the floor. I have questions. Floor is open. You right there? If you click that QR code, free silver bar.
Kwame, what happened to the sound?
That
Who was that lady? Oh no. But I was saying, yeah, keep the recording going because a lot of people really don't understand the magnitude of what we're dealing with in our economy. Like what's happening in the economy. There's so many other things that could keep people distracted. And when you do these presentations, man, when I do invite people, I want them to just, for the next 45 minutes, get your undivided attention because it's that serious. And a lot of people don't understand that paper currency is not money, and we've been taught, that's my dog. We've been taught that paper currency is money, and it's not. And ever since I went in a different direction using this ecosystem, my life has changed, like for real. And we're shouting to the ceiling to people, you gotta give Mint Builder an opportunity because it's gonna knock your socks off. Like it's really gonna impress you with the consistency, the discipline. You know how hard it is to be disciplined with paper currency? It's very hard.
very hard.
So, I mean, KJ is at my house. I just got back in Milwaukee, you guys, and I've been promoting Mint Builder all to the truckers because everybody need it. Everybody.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with you 100%. I was just telling my wife earlier today. It's interesting. We have money laying around the house. If it was currency, no one just has currency laying around the house. But we have money just it's laying around. Like I can just pick up a piece of silver bar or some gold. Because we're not trying to spend it. We're trying to save. We know that what it is. If you got currency, we'll spend it. Really.
Yeah, definitely. That is one. What's going on, Kwame? This KJ. Yeah, I was over at Gino's house. I love to think like that because a lot of times when you were saying it before, we were talking about, we got to stop saying money when we call a piece of paper money because we got to call it currency. Now, I was at some other people's house. I do another little job as in helping, a sick person, and then we were just having a conversation. And understand that when people don't understand what real money is, it is amazing. Because when we were having this conversation, to me, they believed everything was a conspiracy. And I was like, wow, why do you believe that's a conspiracy? Because all those conspiracy theories and stuff like that, this has been money. But you have to, then when you give them history lessons and you are a history teacher, now you have to be quiet because now guess what? History is hurting you because it's working against you, not in your favor, not in the favor of the story that you heard, instead of the truth. And it was pretty amazing. That I was like, wow, just to know, when you give them one date, just all you talking about is August 15th, and then when you give them that date, and then they get quiet, what happens is they lose that train. What I'm talking about, they don't want to. They don't want to give me the props. What they want to do is say, well, I just don't believe all that kind of stuff. And I was like, I just don't want to believe it. I just don't want to believe it. So, well, you not believing it doesn't mean it's not true. It's not. It is definitely not going to go away. The reality is the reality.
Yeah.
And that's the point that, but basically it's not to try to hurt nobody's feelings, anything like that. All you want to do is present the information to people, and we come across it all the time. And I see, dang, that's how people are, caught in the dark. They're caught in the dark because they believe you're protecting a lie.
Get the other one. Give me that.
Absolutely.
Get that.
And that's just what it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the educational system just didn't give us this information. It's just simple as that. I mean, I never learned anything. I never knew that gold was money all my years of school. Not one time did they teach us to save gold. Would they tell us, open up a savings and save your money in the bank? And the bank has been ripping us off since 1913, and even became worse in 1971. And they took us off the gold standard for real. Just imagine if our parents had known this back in the 70s, gold was less than $100 an ounce. Yeah.
Yeah, and you know, I'm glad you mentioned that real quick. When I first started saving gold and silver, silver was $4 an ounce. It was only $4 an ounce. I started with a company called CMI years ago, and
Mm.
gold was like 400. It was 300 an ounce, you guys. And
Yeah.
today, it's almost $3,000 an ounce. I mean, the opportunity is there. You
Yeah.
know, as far as trusting the company, I've been knowing Matt over 30 years, and you can pull up his history online. Is nothing nefarious about him. He's a straight up businessman. This opportunity is monumental. But you know what's happening out there? It's so many distractions of get rich quick. Because see, everybody's still on that bandwagon.
Mhm.
Because this is getting rich slow. We actually are getting rich because we're acquiring a number one. You said earlier, this is the number one asset in the world, gold.
Yeah, and silver's the most undervalued asset in the world.
And yeah, I like that. I'm gonna borrow that for a while.
Yeah, even though,
Silver is,
like you said,
oh my God.
it was when I started saving, it was about $5, and I wasn't even with a company. I was just going to the coin shop around the corner and exchanging paper for silver back in the '80s. I mean, back in the '90s, back then,
Yeah,
because I just
yeah,
knew, but I just didn't buy any gold then because I couldn't afford the gold, but I could definitely
exactly.
get the silver, So I was accumulating
Exactly.
silver for a long time, So now silver's what, physical silver, $35?
Well, if you walk in the store, I was in a coin shop yesterday to do some comparison, and they're selling theirs for 40. If it's a Silver Eagle, you're gonna pay $45 or 40 and higher. They're gonna put that premium on top of it.
Mhm.
So the spot is what? What did you say the spot was? 35 or something?
No, a spot is like 32, 31 something.
32,
Yeah.
32, and plus the $15. The premium on silver is big. It's up there. And
Mhm.
I'm noticing it across the country. Like everybody's starting to mark up their precious metals because they know there's a huge demand because of the way the economy looks. We got the election year. All this happens every election year. Every 4 years, it's almost like a guarantee you're going to see a huge spike in precious metal purchases.
Yeah, and definitely also because we got conflict after conflict after conflict.
Oh my gosh, geopolitical conflict,
And
you
so
name it.
people are just trying to secure their financial future by acquiring precious metals. Like I said, China is encouraging their citizens to acquire gold, but
Yeah,
not here in the United States because I just don't understand why, but it's not for me to understand. I just know that we're getting it and we're trying to help everybody that we know realize that you want to start saving some real money. Then later.
absolutely. I never. And you know what? Before I go, I'm gonna say this that was taught to me, and I'm so glad you're recording this. A rich person that was involved with precious metals, he told me this. He said if that company, if Mint Builder was to go away, he said, you know what's still very powerful that you guys have? And I'm like, what? And he was like, this concept of exchanging your declining paper dollars for real money. This concept is interdependent of the company. So if any company you get involved with just happens to go away, you still know how to ride this bike. You still know that you need to incorporate this asset into your life because it's the
Mhm.
real deal.
Yep.
Does it make sense?
Absolutely. I mean, it's just a no-brainer, like they say.
It's a no-brainer.
Mhm. Yep.
All
But we're
right,
gonna
partner. Well,
end it here.
excellent job as always.
We'll be back again next week.
You bet.
Same time, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, with another informative video and information to help empower people with the knowledge, get free from this debt-based monetary system. People are struggling to get by, living from paycheck to paycheck. Till next
All
time,
right.
peace,
All right, Kwame. See you
power,
later.
love,
Peace.
prosperity.